Hey everyone, welcome to Ether World. As we all know that Ethereum's one of the biggest upgrade, that is the merge upgrade, is approaching. The preparation of the upgrade introduced many new terms to the blockchain dictionary. Despite many documentations available, many people are having hard time understanding what merge is and what are terminologies related to it. We have published multiple blog posts on Etherworld explaining different terms related to it. Check out etherworld.co for latest concepts on Ethereum blockchain. In this video, we will try to explain terms you may have heard with respect to the merge upgrade, that is Bellatrix, Paris and TTD, and explain the transition of the merge in an easy to understand English and not in any complex manner. So let's get started. Ethereum today consists of two chains working in parallel. One is what we used to know as ETH1 or mainnet chain. It is known as execution layer according to the recent changes in the terminology. This chain is secured by proof of work consensus. The other chain is known as ETH2 or beacon chain, now popularly known as consensus layer. This is also a mainnet secured by proof of stake consensus mechanism. Check out the I button or link in description to follow out more videos on proof of work, proof of stake, execution layer and consensus layer. So moving on, the merge upgrade is bringing these two chains together by a hot swapping consensus mechanism from proof of work to proof of stake. Two hard forks are needed to bring these two chains together. Their names are Bellatrix on consensus layer and Paris on execution layer. You will understand both of them one by one. Let's start with Bellatrix upgrade. Bellatrix is a consensus layer upgrade that prepares the beacon chain for the merge. For people who are not aware, the beacon chain has been running up since 2020. Let's deep dive into some technical details. Historically, the proof of work Ethereum hard forks are triggered on a specific block number. But on beacon chain, there is no notion of block numbers, but there are epochs and slots. Slots is a time period of 12 seconds in which a randomly chosen validator gets a chance to propose a block. 32 slots equals to 1 epoch. As it's clear, the beacon chain is time sensitive as it has its own logical clock which is tightly coupled to the actual clock. All beacon chain hard forks are triggered by a fork epoch, that is a span of slots, which makes the time of upgrade predictable for up to a second. We can say that the Bellatrix part of the merge will be highly deterministic regarding the rollout and transition, as we can predict the exact moment when the hard fork on the beacon chain goes up. So for Bellatrix to happen on beacon chain, a client upgrade is required to bring Bellatrix logic on it. Many viewers will think that only consensus layer client needs to be updated, but it's not correct. Bellatrix compatible Ethereum clients will be the combination of beacon chain clients and the execution layer clients. And if you don't know, every Ethereum node is represented by two parts, consensus layer part, execution layer part. Both these parts communicate via Engine API, which is an interface which is used for communication between consensus layer and execution layer. So I think that's enough introduction of the Bellatrix upgrade. Let's understand what will happen when Bellatrix upgrade hits the consensus layer. So firstly, CL clients will start producing the updated beacon blocks, and they will also monitor the execution layer for the TTD event to produce the first POS block on the top of a terminal POW block. This upgrade also includes an optimistic sync support, that is a sync approach used by clients post-merge. There are some other changes on beacon chain, validator responsibilities, networking and fork choice, but that will be too technical for this video. We will recommend you to read our article on Bellatrix upgrade, link is in the description. Now it's time for second part of this video, that is the Paris upgrade. So this upgrade will deploy two EIPs, that is EIP 3675 and EIP 4399. So unlike a regular proof of work hard fork, Paris is triggered by reaching a decided amount of TTD. When the proof of work chain reaches a certain amount of TTD, execution layer clients stop processing the POW chain and the POW chain stops. So the total terminal difficulty denotes the last proof of work block. Then on the POS side, the consensus layer comes into the picture, producing the block on the top of terminal POW block, which is the first POS block. So the execution part of the first POS block will follow two Paris upgrade EIPs, that is 3675 and EIP 4399, and this will also be the first Paris block. So Paris is not activated on the terminal POW block but on the first POS block. Also, Paris upgrade is less predictable and deterministic than Bellatrix upgrade because developers use total terminal difficulty, which is affected by hash power fluctuations in the network. So when developers say that TTD will hit in 4 weeks, it does not mean that they are anticipating, but they are predicting that. According to their predictions, TTD will happen after 4 weeks. This is because developers assume that hash power will remain the same, but if hash power increases, the TTD will hit much earlier than expected, and also if it decreases, then the same TTD can take up to 8 weeks. So I think that's enough for the Paris upgrade. You can read out our article for more technical details. So it's time for us to summarize Bellatrix and Paris in a quick manner. So firstly, nodes are upgraded to be compliant with Bellatrix, that is the CL part, Paris, that is the EL part. Then we wait for the Bellatrix fork epoch to happen. After epoch is hit, CL clients are now waiting for terminal POW block. Once a terminal POW block reaches TTD, the beacon chain proposer builds the first POS block on the top of a terminal POW block, and the Paris is activated on the execution layer, and that's when the merge transition happened. Now it's time to look at the final phase of our video and understand what TTD is and why it is important. So, in the proof of work network, the canonical chain is backed by the highest amount of work, that is the chain with the highest total difficulty value, but not the chain with the highest block number. The POS chain must be built on the top of a block that reached that TTD value. Total difficulty is the amount of work put into the network. So higher the total difficulty would be, higher the amount of the work that has been put into a particular chain. That's why POS chain takes the heaviest POW chain, that is the chain with the highest total difficulty. So I think that's enough for the video. If you want to know more about Bellatrix, Paris and TTD, then check out our article. Link is in the description. Thank you.